The People's Promise for Climate Change has captured the energy and ideas of young people from all around the world, and we are building momentum towards COP26.
The climate crisis is a symptom of broken systems, interconnected problems with interconnected solutions, from our food system to the clothes that I'm wearing to how I get around the city. The world doesn't need another million words, it needs the action of 1 times a million. So at this critical window of change, we need people from all corners to be taking ownership of those issues and to step up rather than shut down in the face of the climate crisis.
It's important that everybody is engaged in the transition to a climate-safe future to ensure that climate justice is upheld.
On climate change, there is no doubt that those who will be most affected and are the least responsible are the young people. They are the least responsible because in their lifetimes they have not been responsible for the causes of climate change. They are the most affected because the negative impacts of climate change will affect them in their lifetime. So it is important that we hear from these young people, that they remind us constantly that their future is in our hands.
Every decision that is being made today is going to greatly impact young people. And it is the young people that will have to live longer with the consequences of the world's inaction today. So this is about the future of young people. Anything that is changing right now is going to impact the next generation.
We have to be able to cut our emissions by 50% by 2030 in order to protect the future of today's young people.
What motivates me to take climate action is just an overwhelming love for my community and the youth who live there. I want to make sure that we have a future that is not just livable, but also inspiring and hopeful.
I am motivated by the people around the world who are on the front lines of the climate crisis, who are taking action every single day. I am inspired and driven by the people who don't have the privilege of inaction, but are stepping up and doing the work every single day.
From Dubai to Glasgow, we offer you our support, our ambition, and our optimism for achieving the global goal of decarbonising our economies and transitioning to a more sustainable and climate-safe future for all.
I promise to try and find a balance between the needs of the working people who live their everyday lives in my region and the needs of the planet.
I promise to speak up because my voice matters. I'll continue to share the perspective of indigenous communities in the climate action discourse and continue to document the traditional knowledge and practices of indigenous people.
I promise to make sure that our disability community is ethically and non-tokenistically engaged in the climate negotiations in governments and on the ground in the climate movement to ensure transparency, justice and equality.
I promise to always share the community voices in the decision-making process. I can do that one through giving out my story or sharing the inspiration across. I believe that one voice can be a holder to really change the world, so I will use my voice.
And I also promise to continue impacting the next generation by making sure that children get to fall in love with nature, because it's only through connecting with nature and falling in love with nature that they will get that natural call to action to also continue demanding for urgent action from their leaders. And I also promise to continue in promoting climate education through an experiential way where the young generation can understand the challenges that we are facing today and how they can contribute and be a part of the solution.
That's my promise for the planet. What's yours?
That's my promise for the planet. What's yours?
That's my promise. What's yours?
That is my promise for the planet. What's yours?
That is my promise for the planet. What is yours?
That's my promise for the planet. What's yours?
We are all change makers and leaders, and the future has its eyes on us.